Check your local listings for those events.
Keith, I'd be surprised with only 2 seconds on the clock if they try to punt it.
I would,
they
too.
can use the 2 seconds on a running play before Georgia could possibly call timeout.
I don't well, Georgia without timeouts now. I would not want Scott Werner running around back there in this particular point in the ball game. Not when you're down by 14 points, because he is dangerous and not going to kick it. They give the ball off to Phil Carter. Carter with a convoy out in front, runs it out across the 30. And that'll do it for the first half of play in this 47th Sugar Bowl game. And the Georgia Bulldogs are leading the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame by a score of 17-3. And Bill Fleming is standing right now with Vince Dooley.
And with Vince Dooley right now, Coach, it sure looks like you do have the #1 team in the nation. What alertness.
Well, it's still too early to tell, but we did make some big plays in the kicking game that got us going. And we had an opportunity to hopefully to get one more. I was hoping we could, but I think we're really just starting now. The second half is where it is.
You could have had one more on that long bomb to Norris Brown.
Yeah, he was open, and he beat our tight end can run, and we may throw to him again before the day's over.
Does it surprise you that you have not completed a pass and yet you lead by 14 points?
Well, I hadn't thought about it. I don't even keep those stats, you know, but I think we're fortunate to be where we are. Second half is where it is.
You know, on the kickoff where there was a mix-up in the Notre Dame receivers, do you have any idea of what could have happened there? Is there a difference in depth perception in this dome?
Well, that's what Archie Manning told me the other day, and he's played in it a long while, so he should know. But evidently it looked like the kick was going to go further than what it went. It looked like the safety man just ran out, assuming that it would go deep, but it hung and dropped short. Thank goodness.
3. And they first.
Look at the bottom, the one that jumps out, turnover, 2 for Notre Dame, none for Georgia. Georgia had to move a total of 24 yards for 2 touchdowns as they recovered. 1 fumble on Notre Dame's 2 and the other on the 22. That is the difference in the ball game.
Right now, here is Bill Fleming with Coach Dan Devine.
Coach, the mistakes really did hurt. I don't know what happened on that kickoff, whether they lost it in the lights or whether it was just a mistaken signal on which guy was going to catch it.
Well, actually, they didn't hear, and that's just something that you work on, Bill. We have 2 veteran kids back there. I can't fault them that much. Something we didn't want to happen, but it did. We just got to overcome it now.
Now, Corey had his hand on ice. Is there anything wrong with it?
Yes, he has a broken bone in his hand. He injured it going in for that drive, and we didn't know it, but
we're not going to see him then.
No, he can't play, Bill. He'll be on the sideline, but we're determined. We have to cut out our mistakes. We've let him go too short a distance, and when we made an offensive mistake, we haven't stormed out and stopped them, so we've got to set the tempo here early in the second half. This is a great Georgia team. I can see why they're 11-0, but we aren't beat yet.
Now, with the absence of Corey and you can't use him, is there anything offensively you might do differently in the second half?
No, actually, our game plan, Bill, is perfect. We're just keep penalties, 3 penalties of kill first downs.
3 turnovers, and that's
3 turnovers, and that's it. We're doing everything right except execution, and we just have to execute.
Okay, Coach. Back upstairs to you, Keith. We're ready to play football.
All right, Bill, I might point out, going into the second half of play, that Notre Dame has now gone 6 quarters without scoring a touchdown. They will kick off to the Georgia Bulldogs now. And deep for Georgia, Scott Werner and Chuck Jones. Werner 19, Jones number 1. And it is a short kick. And Jones comes up to take it all the way out on the 13. And he gets up to the 23. And he goes down in a heap with Tony Belden leading. Georgia's offensive backs and receivers are reflected there. At least we anticipate that's the way they'll come out and line up for the start of the second half. And the offensive front, which has been outstanding, really outstanding. Harper, Blakewood, Happy, Morrison, Hudson, and Brown, with Radloff alternating as center with Joe Happy. So it is Georgia's football. Let's say the 24, first down, and they lead 17-3 as we start the second half. Jones goes in motion. They give it off to Womack, the fullback, on his first carry of the ball game, and Jimmy, whose birthday is today, pops it up to the 26. John Hankard is a defensive end, played well. Joe Gramke has been pretty quiet in the middle of the Irish melee down there. Pat Kramer had 1 big play. Scott Zedek, defensive end. Linebackers are Mark Savagnan. Bob Crable has dropped off a lot in short zone coverage and pass defense so far. Joe Rudzinski had a big play in the first half. Second down and 8 from the 26 for Georgia, and Amp Arnold is in motion. Herschel Walker has the ball, and Herschel Walker runs over people, pushes his way out to about the 34. The Irish secondary, Stacey Toran, is a freshman playing at cornerback. John Krim is the man usually deep on the punts. Dave Durison had one blitz and one big play. Tom Gibbons knocked down a couple of passes. Walker now has gone over 100 yards, 18 carries and 103 yards for Herschel Walker, and the chains are out to see whether or not he reached first down area as he got close to the 24. Stretch it out. It's a first down for the Bulldogs. So again, to set you up on the story of Herschel Walker, he gained 1,616 yards in his freshman year. That's what he's done there today so far. The Sugar Bowl record for yardage gained on the ground, 202 yards by Tony Dorsett. Bulldogs operating first down from their own 34. Buck Bellew has not completed a pass so far in the ball game. Go back to Walker. Walker getting pursuit, but gets outside the pursuit. He's turned upside down by number 27, Tom Gibbons, and that's really the best way for a 181-pounder to try to tackle Herschel Walker.
Go at his feet. If you go up at his hip or his thigh, he will run over you, as he's already demonstrated many, many times in this ball game.
Give him a yard, second down and 9. Two turnovers by Notre Dame produced touchdown opportunities for Georgia. They cashed them in. The third turnover with a pass interception in the Georgia end zone. Buck Bellew staying with the play-action passing. And there you go. Tim Marshall just kept coming and got him. Marshall and Zedek were both there. And the loss is back inside the 25 to the 24. Loss of 10.
Number 77, Tim Marshall is just a freshman. He started 2 ball games, played in all 11, and has 10 sacks for the season. That's his 11th. That shows the quickness of this young freshman.
That is the 3rd sack of Bellew in the ball game for a total of 11 yards. And now it is 3rd down and about 20 for Georgia. Notre Dame trying to get the momentum, trying to get the edge early. They give it to Walker, and Herschel's outside, comes back up to about the 34 before a couple of fellows in white come up to get him. Dave Durison being the primary hitter on the play. And now Georgia's got to punt it away. With Malkowicz coming onto the field, Notre Dame should have the ball in pretty good field position.
The Notre Dame defense stopping Georgia on their first series is a big psychological boost to them. Plus, giving them pretty good field position.
That's Scott Grooms on the sidelines there, another freshman quarterback warming up. You've heard that Mike Corey has a broken bone in his right hand and can't play anymore. Blair Keel will be coming out. Fair catch is called by Notre Dame's Durison back at the 34. It was a 33-yard punt with no return, and now here are the Irish. Let's see what the offense can do. They have the greater numbers in the offense, but they don't have anything on the scoreboard save the 50-yard field goal by Harry Oliver. And it's Keel, Carter, Sweeney, Holohan, and Hunter. Shiner, Huffman, Scully, Thayer, plus Derrick and Maztak, the big guys up front. Holohan to the left, Hunter to the right. Hunter has not seen the ball yet today. Holohan had the ball taken away from him. And here's Keel's loop to the sidelines, and is thrown much too high and into the crowd. The University of Georgia defense. Robert Miles played very well, a senior out of Montgomery. Jimmy Payne, only a sophomore, hometowner who stayed there to play ball. Eddie Weaver had a big first half, playing the middle of the defensive unit. Tim Crow had 3 big plays in the first half, and Pat McShay had a quarterback sack. It is second down and 10 for the Irish from the 34. Keel now 5'11" for 54 yards. Georgia's defense bouncing around, drops off to a 4-man front. Keel outside. Turns it upfield. Big, strong youngster who can run the football, and he runs it out of bounds up around the 45, and that will be a first down for Notre Dame. Frank Ross is the linebacker, captain of the team for this game. Nate Taylor is an improving sophomore linebacker. Scott Werner is the cornerback who had the interception, the punt returner. Mike Fisher also had a big pass deflection. Chris Welton recovered the fumble that gave Georgia its second touchdown opportunity. Jeff Hipp led the club in interceptions with 8 during the past season, and that man has been the wheelhouse, the horse.
And he's lived up to his billing all year long in every ball game, accepted the pressure, and has demonstrating conclusively that he's a great player.
From the 46 is where they put it, and Keel on a roll, pulls it down, runs it upfield, and number 47 got him to the leg. Or no, it's 87, Payne. And he goes down at about the 49. So give him 3, 2nd down and 7. And you can see the stark shadows in the bright sunshine. It's bathing the city of New Orleans. I imagine it's pretty quiet down in the quarter right now, but it wasn't last night. Holohan in motion. And the pitch to Phil Carter. And Carter dives it over the right side and gets decent yardage out of it. Puts it down on the Georgia 47. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and about 2.
This is a very, very critical call and play for Notre Dame. They need to keep this momentum. 3rd and 2 is a tough call against the Georgia defense because they've got to run up the middle or they take a chance going wide for the loss, which happened early in the game.
Carter didn't get there. Gang tackle, Payne, 87, the first contact. The defensive lineman, and then Crow, 91, really put him down.
Just an excellent play by the Georgia defense. They did what we talked about earlier. They penetrated, broke the seam, and stopped Carter before he could get started.
So Blair Keel drops back in punt formation with Scott Werner deep for the Bulldogs on 4th down and 2.
Keep going, Mike! Keep going, Mike!
No pressure on him. He hangs it a mile high. Werner's going to let it go. Notre Dame trying to get to it, down it, knock it back. Going to bring it out to the 20. And so the two teams trade offensive possessions. Notre Dame gets some movement, but not enough. 47-yard punt. Georgia's ball, and 10:07 to go, 3rd quarter. Georgia 17-3 have the ball, 1st down at the 20 in the 3rd quarter. Georgia, the only Division I team with an unblemished record. #1, trying to win their first national championship ever. Pitch out to Walker. Wants to throw a halfback pass. Gets it off. It's a knuckleball down the sidelines, but there's incomplete. The ball was well short, but there is a penalty flag thrown downfield. Amp Arnold was the intended receiver on the sidelines, so let's see what the flag's about.
I believe it was the receiver went out of bounds on his own and not pushed out of bounds. Therefore, when he came back in, he was ineligible. No penalty.
No penalty. Official picks up his flag, and it remains at the 20, and it's 2nd down. If he had caught the ball, there would have been a penalty.
That's correct. They brought it back incomplete.
Ballou turns his back, throws it short, intended for the fullback Womack. Can't hang on. Wouldn't have had a first down anyway. He would have gone out of bounds at about the 26. And so that brings up a 3rd. Buck Ballou now is 0 for 7.
That is really amazing because against Georgia Tech in the final game of the season, as Georgia Tech gained on Georgia and trailed them only by 3 points, Ballou took them down the field throwing the ball for 3 quick scores.
Third down and 10. Walker, left side. Got a little daylight, but Preble is over there finally to ride him out of bounds up around the 25-26. And the Bulldogs will have to punt it away. And once again, Notre Dame's going to get the ball in good field position. Walker now 21 carries for 119 yards.
Keith, you mentioned that Notre Dame hadn't scored a touchdown the last 6 quarters. In the game that they tied, they didn't score a touchdown against Georgia Tech, and they didn't score a touchdown against Southern Cal in the game that they lost.
Well, they've actually gone 10 quarters, haven't they?
Well, no, Georgia Tech was 2 weeks before. They played Air Force and Notre Dame in between them.
It's a high-hanging kick, but it's not very long. Fair catch is called by Garrison at the 39. And so here comes Notre Dame again with good field position, a 36-yard punt. Coming up on January 10, we've got the Hula Bowl in Honolulu for you, and some of the players on the West squad include the big guy Mike Riley, Washington, playing in the Rose Bowl today. You'll see Ronnie Lott. The quarterbacks will be Phil Bradley of Missouri, Samoa, Washington State. Mark Herman will be the quarterback of the East team. And it's just a heck of a collection. Phil Bradley of Missouri at quarterback for the West. We'll have a lot of fun. January 10, join us for the Hula Bowl. And Blair Keel under pressure gets around the corner. McShay finally turns him toward the sidelines, and Welton comes up and knocks him out.
One thing that we should draw attention to the fact that Notre Dame is rolling out against the wide tackle 6 front, which means that the defensive ends and tackles are very wide. And as Eddie Weaver, their very fine tackle, leaves the game, number 61. Let's watch him, see if we can tell. He's trying to fight his way through, then releases and pursues out the line. And he's limping. He was hurt earlier.
Ball is sitting out at the 43-yard line, second down and about 5, and the sideline pass is complete to Pete Holohan. Beats a big guy, 6'5" and about 228 pounds. Georgia has to game tackle him to get him down, but he's got a Notre Dame first down at the Georgia 43.
If Notre Dame can just hit some short passes and let their backs and receivers run with it, I think it will change the Georgia defense from the way they played so far. As Houlihan, number 31, goes out. As Keith mentioned, he's a big one, 6'5". Let's watch him run as Scott Warner, the All-American, misses him but fights right back and gets in the play.
First down Irish, Bulldog 43. Georgia leading 17-3 with 9:15 to play, third quarter. Heel gives it to Jim Stone, the tailback. Stone runs with authority inside the 40 to the 38. Got almost 5 before Nate Taylor made the tackle. Taylor, he's only 5'11", 198, paying the left side linebacker. And he's not the fastest fellow around. Certainly not the biggest guy around. But all he does is make one big play after another.
As we said earlier, he's a walk-on. Everybody in Georgia turned him down. He went to the university and got a battlefield promotion before the Clemson ball game by being given a scholarship and a starting position, which he's held for 2 years.
On second down, Keel on a drop. Gets his pass off to the sidelines. The pass is caught by Pete Holohan. Pete Holohan shrugs off one Georgia tackler and finally is out of bounds down around the 25, and that's going to be another first down for Notre Dame. So once again, they're moving.
Notre Dame repeated the same pass as we looked at Uga. He needs to fire those Bulldogs up a little bit by Houlihan going from the inside position out on the boundary. And Fisher missed the tackle before Nate Taylor, the linebacker, came out and knocked him out of bounds.
At the 25, first down Irish. Bushka in at flanker, Houlihan out. Sometimes hard to hear in this zone. Georgia had an 8-man front that time. The quick pass to the sidelines. Hunter steps out of bounds at the 20.
Keith mentioned that it's hard to hear in the dome. Some coaches just refuse to change the play at the line for the fear of someone not hearing and getting a bad play. The noise bounces back down on the field from the roof, makes it very difficult.
8:25 to go in the third quarter. The Irish just inside the 20. Second down and about 5. Fullback Sweeney goes in motion. Hits the ball to the tailback, Carter. Carter ducking in behind the fullback's block. Drives down to the 15. He may have a first down, depending on the mark they give him. Mark him right on the 15. That should be enough.
I know everybody hates, Notre Dame hates to see Mike Curry get hurt and won't play anymore, as Dan Devine revealed to us. But one thing it does, it gives the football team an idea, hey, Keel's our quarterback. He's got to do it. Let's do it for him. Could bring them together and make them a better football team.
They don't give him the first down. Just inches short. Third down. Keel keeps it, dives to the 13, and Notre Dame now controlling the football, moving it along, using the short pass, and occasional tailback burst. Optional ability by the quarterback. They've marched it down inside the 14 to a first down.
Very, very impressive drive. Heel making the key plays, 2 good passes, 3 actually completions, plus his scrambling ability.
Just inside the 14. Hand the ball off. Fullback Buchanan is hit. Maybe a yard on the carry. Again, gang tackling by Georgia.
The swarming Georgia defense. As we said earlier, they believe in stopping the wide plays, go slow inside and try to swarm the ball carrier, which they just did on Sweeney, number 33. Look at this interesting stat. 6 opponents this year at halftime.
Jim Stone is coming at tailback as they go to the split back formation now with Carter leaving. Keels drops back, throws for Hunter. No, out of bounds. Tony Hunter running with Mike Fisher. Hunter at 6'5", Fisher at 6 feet. Keel put it there, but he's out of bounds.
Little play action pass, and Hunter and Fisher are just bumping each other, as you could see earlier. And let's see if Hunter is in bounds. He has to, remember, come down with 1 foot in bounds. Don't believe he did.
He had the takeoff foot inbounds, but he did not possess the ball from that angle. Let's see what we see from here.
Watch the little shoving going on right here. Let's see. No, I don't believe it's an illegal play.
Looked like an incomplete pass. 10th play in this possession by the Irish. 3rd down, loop to the corner for Holohan. And Pete cannot come up with it as he and Werner fought for the ball. Last time they threw that pass, Werner intercepted it. This time he had to fight for his life to knock it loose from Holohan.
Werner's playing man for man, not watching the ball until the receiver jumps up. Watch him turn his head at the exact time the receiver jumps for the ball. And you can see that that's, in my judgment, that's close to interference. If he's not facing the passer, he cannot bump the receiver.
30-yard field goal attempt by Harry Oliver. He has a 50-yarder. He's 7 out of 7 from this distance on the season. Left hash mark, the left footer knocks it up and missed it. He missed it. So here's Notre Dame with a well-conceived drive, running off 11 plays, and they are turned away empty and still trailed by 14 as Georgia takes over. By Harry Oliver. Important thing is to judge from here when it goes by. It was no good, regardless of what your opinion might be. Now it looks like it's passing the goalpost outside. As it hooks later, it looks good from there, but it's long since gone by the uprights. And Georgia back to the attack, hands the ball off, and for the first time today, I guess it is, Herschel Walker is knocked down behind the line of scrimmage. First time, and Pat Kramer was the man primarily responsible for Notre Dame. He loses a yard. There's Mike Curry, who played some at quarterback in the first half, but has a broken bone in his right hand. He's so pumped up, he feels nothing right now, I'm sure, except he can't grip the ball. 2nd down, 11. Ballou on a roll to the left. Gets his pass off to the sidelines. It's overthrown, intended for Chuck Jones. Jones had no chance to get to the ball.
Number 70, Scott Zedek, has had a great senior year. Let's watch him, how he plays. The blocker, number 75, he just pushes him back and then goes right on in and puts the pressure on Ballou after he threw the ball. And finally just throws him to the ground.
All right, it's on the 19, 3rd down, 11. Ballou gives the ball to Walker. Walker can't find much room. Gets from the 19 out to about the 22. Taken down there by Tim Marshall. Now you see Curry's trying to throw the ball. Yeah. Maybe it's not a break, though I'm sure they must have x-rayed it. Oh, now we're told, well, anyway, we'll see if he comes back. Dan Devine said he had a broken hand, and we'll wait and see. The kick is away by Malkowitz on 4th down. Not a very long kick. Once again, Notre Dame has good position. Jurison fields it and tries to run it back, and he's taken down by Stewart. Ronnie Stewart, fullback, came downfield on the punt coverage after a 35-yard punt. Notre Dame has the football. 1st down at the 43. The 22, and both times scored. And a 46-yard field goal accounting for their scoring. Notre Dame's only score, 50-yard field goal by Oliver. Keel from the 43. Gets his pass to the sideline. It's good to Holohan. Pat Holohan is caught at the 50 and shoved out of bounds.
On the last 2 possessions, Notre Dame made some yardage, but Georgia strengthened and stopped them. Forced the punt on one occasion and a missed field goal on the 2nd. Notre Dame has come right back to the same pass that they completed to Holohan twice a little bit earlier in the quarter.
Let's not get it away from him.
There's Buck Ballou, who's had a great year. He's a leader they all look to.
From the 49-yard line, give it to the tailback, and Bill Carter appears to have a first down as he works it down to about the 46 of Georgia. Incredible that Ballou would be 0 for 8.
And Georgia be leading.
And Georgia be leading. Mistakes. Go back to mistakes.
Coaches, that's the one thing that changes the football game is mistakes.
Look out now. Scott Werner's come off the field. It's a first down. And Werner is off there now. Let's see who they're going to put over there to cover Hunter. Greg Bell, number 20, is in. Bell is 5'11". Hunter's on this side, lined up against Mike Fisher, the other corner. First down from the Georgia 47. Give it to Carter. Phil Carter pops it up the middle, and he paid for it. He got it down to about the 44. Picked up the better part of 3 yards, but he took a walloping from Weaver and from Crow and from Creeman.
Eddie Weaver, number 61, 270 pounds. He delivers a good blow on the offensive blocker, attacking him. Then he waits and finally moves in and helps on the tackle on Carter. Number 61, Eddie Weaver, all Southeastern Conference guard.
Clear field, back to throw it, throws it short. The fullback Buchanan. Buchanan is caught by Welton and shoved out of bounds at the just inside the 40. That is just short of the first down. See the time running in the third quarter. Georgia's been giving up some real estate to the Irish offense, but each time they have turned them back without letting them score.
That's the Georgia strategy. They've used this same defense under Eric Russell for 17 years, and very successfully, I might add.
Keel now with 99 yards on 10 completions and 19 tries. On 3rd and 2, Keel almost falls down. Weaver's after him, gets his pass off, and Holohan makes a sensational catch. Pete Holohan makes the catch down at the 30, and Notre Dame keeps the drive alive. Terrific catch by Pete.
He had to have great concentration because the ball was thrown way behind him. Short yardage. Notre Dame decided to go for a running action pass, and Holohan is going to see the ball being thrown behind him. He turns and leaps back, concentrates, pulls it in for the completion.
First down Irish, Georgia 30. Holohan's caught 4 for 44. Give it to Carter. Phil Carter on a sweep, finds a hole. And the sophomore busts his way down inside the 20 to the 19. Buchanan, a fullback, led him through the right side.
What we should mention again, this is the third possession this quarter for Notre Dame. This is the third good drive that they have put forth. They came away empty on the other two. Let's see what happens with first down on the 19.
And you begin to wonder is whether or not the Georgia defense might be getting a little tired. And after a long time in the third quarter. First down at the Georgia 19. It's the tailback Carter. Carter actually fell over his own man. He fell over Sweeney, the fullback. Here's Bill Fleming.
Keith, I just talked to Mike Corey. I asked him about the hand. He said, well, it hurts a little bit, but I think I could play. I said, was it broken? He said, yeah, I'm afraid so. The x-rays show that we do have a fracture here. So I don't think we'll see him again.
Okay, Bill, thank you very much. Clears that up.
Scott Werner is back in the ball game, the left halfback for Georgia.
And he goes up against Tony Hunter.
Man for man. Man to man. That's right. He's right facing.
Heel back, looking for Hunter. Goes to him, and Hunter's got it. And Hunter's loose, and Hunter's inside the 5. First and goal to go, Notre Dame. And that time, Hunter put a little move inside, went outside. The pass was perfect, and this time, Tony won it.
Watch this play. Just a perfect execution. You see Werner playing him man for man, meaning he's ignoring the pass. He watches it, and as soon as Hunter makes the break, he makes the break with him, but the ball is perfectly thrown. Good catch, but watch Hunter. You can see what a great athlete he is. He nearly scores with the football.
First and goal to go at the 2. Carter. Oh, not much there. think there are 11 red shirts waiting for it.
And I might add, the Georgia band has picked up their noise right now, which is not going to be any help to Notre Dame hearing the snap count.
He didn't gain an inch.
Georgia will use the defense we call guts. I mean, if they throw the ball, there's Blair's good stats, 12 out of 20. If they throw the ball, it's just a touchdown. Everybody will be coming. Everybody, all of them.
Second and goal from the 2. Holohan, motion. Tailback, Carter. Penalty flag. Penalty flag by the linesman across the way.
I wouldn't want to guess, but I believe it was Notre Dame. Excuse me, I mean Georgia.
Offside! Defense!
Right. Lindsey, number 59, playing the defensive left side, may have been the man that moved a little soon.
He's a young sophomore that's had a good year. Very talented player that has a 4.6 speed. Now Notre Dame gets a free run at it again. 3 downs to make a yard and a half. I believe that they'll go right over the top with Carter. That is the best and surest way to score in football today.
All right, here it is, second down, goal to go. Carter over the top, touchdown. Broke the plane. And finally, Notre Dame gets a touchdown at 54 seconds to go in the third quarter.
And before Georgia receives a kickoff, Chief, I should mention that the conservatism of Georgia in this third quarter has cost them. They haven't done anything but hand the ball and pitch it to Walker and try one play-action pass that didn't work. They're going to have to get something going, and they will be prepared for it, I'm sure.
Notre Dame ran off 8 first downs in that third quarter to 1 for Georgia. The kick by Oliver is good. And so, with 54 seconds to play in the third quarter, it is now a 7-point lead for Georgia. And they took 3 runs at it and finally got it in. Herschel Walker, number 34, has gone deep on the kickoff return team, replacing Chuck Jones. First time today he has been the deep man. He's back there with Werner. You got 54 seconds to go in the third quarter. The Georgia offense has gone flat. Johnson's going to kick it off for Notre Dame. Irish closing to within 7. Let's see if he kicks it to Walker. Yeah, he does. Is that Werner? Werner takes it. Scott drifts across and takes it at the 1. Tried to get through that first wave, but the Irish got him up around the 24. John Mosley brought him down. Notre Dame in that third quarter, as time is about to run off here, had the ball 9 minutes and 38 seconds. Georgia 4:28. Georgia's going to have it a little more because of the time remaining.
Georgia just went into a shell with their offense. They was backed up deep, and they thought their defense could hold Notre Dame.
Yeah, but Notre Dame's big and strong, and they'll wear out your defense if you let them keep beating them.
That's a valid point. The bigger the players are, usually the better they play in the fourth quarter. Clint Fuller is going over to talk to the timers on the right. It appears that something may be wrong with a scoreboard clock.
Well, I think it ran off some time during the movement of the change there, and I think maybe they want to restore a little time.
Gets back to the clock. 14 seconds will be added back to the clock.
Okay, that's exactly what happened. They ran off 14 seconds. So instead of 35, you got 49 to play in the third quarter.
Well, I'm not sure Georgia likes that. They might want to get the game over, but that is a defeatist attitude, and they shouldn't. They've got to feel like one more touchdown is necessary if they're going to be national champions. And we'll see what they're made of. They've come through in 11 straight ball games, and they know what it is to be behind and come forward.
They're not behind on the scoreboard, but they are at the moment behind on that mysterious element that we're all want to call momentum.
And momentum is the key of any football game. Every coach knows this. Georgia needs a big play, Keith, and something to happen to walk to the pop for a 20 or 30 yard or complete a pass that will get them out of the hole where they've been in this entire third quarter.
Herschel Walker has already had a big day, running for 121 yards on 23 carries.
He's just a sensational football player that far exceeds anything we ever thought a freshman could accomplish.
All right, first down from the 24 for Georgia. Ballou looks over the Irish defense, a four-man front. It's a 4-4 setup. They give it to Walker. Walker gets one good block. Now there are two Irishmen after him, and they've got him as he gets back to about the line of scrimmage. It was Hankard and Krim waiting for him, and they got him.
And the reason that they were able to make the play, Dave Durson pulled the string on the fullback by coming in and forcing Walker to give ground, giving Hankard and his teammate time to get outside and make the play.
The Notre Dame defense, as much as anything, been able to pin Georgia up. You can take that tack, or you can say the Georgia offense went conservative. One of the covers. Here's Walker dancing around trying to find a little daylight in the middle. It was Bob Crable who penetrated on it, made Walker change directions, forced him back into the crowd, and they got him at the 27.
Bob Crable, number 43, a consensus All-American, a very spirited player. His job is to read the play, probably collision the blocker if there's one there, and make the play on Walker. And all he did really was trip him up. Walker made just enough cut to make him miss him with his headgear.
It is third down and 7. Ballou looking for somebody to throw to. Doesn't have any time to throw. He's going to be sacked by John Hankard. It is the 4th sack by the Notre Dame defense, and Ballou is buried all the way back at the 7. The third quarter is done. 17-10, Georgia leads. We'll continue after this commercial message and a word from our local station. Quarter of game. Georgia leading Notre Dame 17-10. The Irish dominating play in the second half. Mark Malkowitz has got the punt out of his end zone. Notre Dame, if they handle the ball properly, will have the kick. Tail dragger, though, and it takes a Georgia bounce. Durson fields it just to preserve the yardage, and he's rolled down, and Notre Dame will have the ball first down at their own 45.
Here are the stats, and look on the right side for Georgia. 79 yards total offense. Give credit to the Notre Dame defense, which has carried this team all year long. 23 quarters in the middle of the season, they did not allow a touchdown. That's nearly 6 football games before Air Force scored in the 4th quarter. Notre Dame moving the ball effectively right now. Has the momentum.
They send Holohan and Hunter double wide to the open side of the field. First down from their own 46. They're a touchdown away from the Bulldogs. And a conversion. And the ball goes to the tailback. And Phil Carter gets loose in the secondary, and he is caught and tripped up. Otherwise, he would have picked up another 10 or 12 yards. It was Dale Carver, a sophomore from Melbourne, Florida, that grabbed his shoe top.
He might have gone all the way. He had 2 blockers, Carter did, out in front of him when Carver came and tripped him up from behind. Carter was on his way.
He picked up 9 yards, the total 93 yards of the ball game on 23 carries.
He, too, is a very fine tailback runner. Very durable, very tough inside with his shoulder pads right over his toes, giving the defense very little room to make the tackle.
Second down and 1. Carter again. Carter goes slipping through the middle, gets it down to the 40, and it's a first down for Notre Dame at the Georgia 40. Lost his shoe. Going to have to leave. Stone will come in at tailback. Nate Taylor made the tackle on the last play.
Georgia very desperately needs for their defense to give Notre Dame a bad play.
Georgia
somehow.
defense has got to be getting tired. They were out there virtually the whole quarter.
Notre Dame is getting, the offensive line are getting a good movement.
Stone, he splits it over the left side, and he's got big yardage. 6 of them down to the 34. That time he went behind Shiner and Ellis.
And Georgia is now substituting. They're putting some second linemen in the game, Keith. What you mentioned, they were getting tired. They've got some fresh people in the ball game.
Second down 4 from the Georgia 34. Blair Keel. Gonna keep it. Whoa, that's a dandy little move by the Notre Dame quarterback as he juked the Georgia man. And he goes down the field for a first down for the Irish at the Georgia 28.
Tony Hunter, the wide receiver, number 85, came back and made a beautiful block, which helped Keel pick up the needed yardage for the first down. Now the Georgia first-string linemen are coming back in the ball game.
Jeff Falk, number 15, warming up there for Georgia. He's a little bigger than Buck. Jim Stone has it. He's got 2 to the 26 in this second half of play. Notre Dame has run off 10 first downs. Georgia 1. In the ball game, 17 first downs against 6 in favor of the Irish.
Frank Ross, the senior linebacker and captain, is the one who directs the team, and he's also a very fine football player. His job, read the football, plug the hole, and make the tackle on Stone, number 42. Wraps him up and pulls him to the ground.
Second down 8. Carter breaks a tackle, gets close to the 20. It's going to be third down and more than 2, close to 3.
3rd and 2 has been a very critical down, Keith, in earlier goings for Notre Dame. In fact, they have failed on most of their 3rd and 2 situations by running. They came out and threw in the 3rd quarter on 3rd and 2 and made the first down.
This is almost 3. Carter now 103 yards in the ball game for the Irish. Try by the Notre Dame tailback. Carter has his legs taken from under him by Scott Werner, and it is now 4th down.
One thing that Georgia anticipated was the sweep. They had Warner coming from the corner. Notre Dame is going for the field goal.
They're going to go for the 3 in a 17-10 ball game.
This is the 4th possession of the quarter. Notre Dame has of the half, and Notre Dame has moved the ball on each occasion, only getting 3 points so far. This is another 3-point opportunity.
Oliver today has kicked a 50-yarder, missed a 48-yarder, was blocked actually, and missed a 30-yarder. And here's the kick from 38 yards, and it is no good. It is no good. Oh, my goodness. 10:56 to play in the game, and the Bulldogs hold. From the 21, Georgia takes over. And the Georgia faithful, who were lucky enough to get inside the dome to watch the ball game today, standing and roaring for their team. Bulldogs lead 17-10. Their offense has been nil so far in the second half. Buck Ballou yet to complete a pass today. Having trouble getting loose. A penalty flag is down. Ballou is caught back at the line of scrimmage again and dropped at the 16. Now we get another penalty flag. And I think the second one is against a Notre Dame player. I don't know what the first one was, but looked to me like Scott Zedek came in there a little bit late. And Fisher was standing there and threw a flag right on his back.
Notre Dame.
Of course, I don't know what the fellow said to Scott, you know, to get him stirred up. It is against Georgia. The first call. Unsportsmanlike conduct call goes against Notre Dame, and Zedek.
And Keith, we're going to see a mark off 5 yards, I would think. Back, a penalized Georgia, and 10 yards. Isn't that one of those where they add, subtract? It should be a 10-yard penalty against Notre Dame. Bulldogs lead 17-10. Their offense has been nil so far in the second half. Buck Ballou yet to complete a pass today. Having trouble getting loose. A penalty flag is down. Ballou is caught back at the line of scrimmage again and dropped at the 16. Now we get another penalty flag. And I think the second one is against a Notre Dame player. I don't know what the first one was, but looked to me like Scott Zedek came in there a little bit late. And Fisher was standing there and threw a flag right on his back. Notre Dame. Of course, I don't know what the fellow said to Scott, you know, to get him stirred up. It is against Georgia. The first call.
Unsportsmanlike conduct call goes against Notre Dame, and Zedek.
And Keith, we're going to see a mark off 5 yards, I would think. Back, penalized Georgia, and 10 yards. In that one of those where they add and subtract, it should be a 10-yard penalty against Notre Dame.
Well, you had a procedure call against Georgia, right?
Yes. A dead ball foul.
A dead ball foul against Notre Dame.
And they don't offset.
Turn it on, Clint. Well, his mic's not working. Personal foul against Notre Dame. Now he's marked off the 5 against Georgia. Now he's going to mark it off against Notre Dame. It's going to be a net gain of 10 yards for Georgia.
Penalties, penalties, penalties have really hurt Notre Dame along with their turnovers.
That's a motion offense. It's a dead ball foul, unsportsmanlike there, and it's a first down. First down.
All right, net 10 yards on the penalty.
That's the first time we've seen that this year.
Yes, it is. First time we've seen it in 2 years since they changed the rules.
Yes.
First time I've seen it. Georgia has not gained any yards in this whole half so far. You've got 10:39 to play in the ball game. The ball is sitting up near the 32.
Dan Devine is over trying to get the official's attention to come talk to him. He refuses to do so.
I don't know if that's a first down. They got to bring the chain out, I guess, to place it down.
Well, you'd think that
necessarily be an automatic. Yep.
If he stepped off the yards perfectly, it would be, because he would step off 5 in one direction and 10, 15 in the other would be a first down.
Maybe Clint doesn't walk even.
Most of us don't.
That is the second first down registered for Georgia in this half.
Well, that was a damaging penalty to Notre Dame's chances of pulling this game out.
From the 32 now, first down.
They get it right.
Give it to Walker. Up the middle goes Herschel. He gets it up to the 35 before he is thrown back. He's got about 3.5. The ball is in between the 31-32 as they start play. That'll give Walker 128 yards in a ball game on 26 carries. I'm not so sure if I were sitting on a 7-point lead here, I wouldn't let Herschel see a whole lot of the ball right at this point, Frank.
And particularly since he's only fumbled 1 time in 300 carries, and that in the 9th game of the season.
Second down to about 6. Walker's got it again. Oh, did he take a wallop? Bob Crable hit him right on the helmet. Just helmet to helmet, and he rolled him back. Watch this hit.
Crable, as soon as he reads the play, he doesn't wait, knowing that he must plug the hole to stop Walker before he gets started. Walker is cutting back over the middle when they collision, and look at the leg drive of Bob Crable. Just a perfect tackle for the All-American middle linebacker.
He still didn't put him down, though. He did not put him down. He had to get help to get the big horse on the ground. Third down and 6. Again, play action pass. Blues passes away. This one is caught by no, he didn't hold it. Lindsey Scott finally got a chance to make a catch. And the ball was thrown low, and Ballou still hasn't completed a pass. He's 0 for 9.
We have a Notre Dame player that's injured on the field as we watch it again. Ballou is throwing the ball to Lindsey Scott, outstanding wide receiver. He has it, but then I guess it falls out when he hits the ground. Or did he short hop it? Okay.
Short hop. Yeah, that's the combination, Scott and Ballou, that hooked up for the miracle in the Florida game. Timeout for Notre Dame's Mark Zavagnin, the left linebacker, a sophomore out of Evergreen Park, Illinois, with 9 minutes and 12 seconds to play in what has been a crazy football game. Georgia leading 17-10.
Don't find out about your auto insurance by accident.
Ducks.
Forms.
Field, he's all right. Ballou beleaguered on the sidelines. 4th down for Georgia. Malkowitz is in to punt. Notre Dame should get good field position. They've got 10 up on the line. They're sending it. Heats on Malkowitz. Heats on the offensive line for Georgia. On the snapper. Snap is good. Pressure's on. Kick is away. Pretty good kick. Forces Krim into a fair catch. Back at his 26. So Malkowitz and the offensive line for Georgia delivered. There's Mark Zavagnin. He's all right. Had his bell rung a little. A 39-yard punt. And now Notre Dame, they're going to mark it at the 27. There they'll go to work, trailing by 7 points with 9 minutes and 5 seconds to play in the ball game. Georgia trying to hang on and win its first national championship ever. The great team of Sinkwich, Trippi et al., Poshner, Davis, and that bunch, they finished second to Ohio State the year they defeated UCLA in the Rose Bowl 9-0. Finished third another time, but have never finished number one. They're trying to do it this year. Blair Keel on a roll. Puts his pass in the air to the sideline, and the penalty flag is thrown. They have some interference here. Let's see. Warner was defending against Hunter. It's been a pretty decent matchup all day. One time Hunter has beaten him.
I believe it's offensive interference.
It is. Also an ineligible man downfield. So take your choice.
Both of them lose. One lose 15 yards and down. The other doesn't. So I'm sure they'll take the offensive interference. Hunter tried to push off on Warner. I
think Holohan might have been the man that did the done pushing. It's against Notre Dame. Offensive interference, and it backs the football up to the 13-yard line. Notre Dame 7 flags and 64 yards. Georgia 5 flags and 27 yards, and it's second down. They've got to go to the 38-37 to get the first down. Keel with a strong arm goes deep for Hunter. It is intercepted. Picked off by Mike Fisher, who read the play well, came around Hunter to make the interception. And it's turnovers that are killing the Irish.
Keith, only a football coach can fully appreciate this play because the timing was perfect, meaning that Fisher stayed deep until the ball was thrown up. Watch 31 break in front of him. He kept protection deep, but when the ball was thrown front, he came in front and made the interception. A very outstanding play. He made 2 against Florida to save the game there.
So the man of the moment is Mike Fisher. But let's see what Ballou can do. Can he finally get the Georgia offense going? He's going deep for the corner, throwing for half final, and it's almost picked off by Tom Gibbons. Tom can't hang on to it. And it's second down. And once again, Ballou pays for having the privilege of throwing the pass.
You're going to see Arnold. He's just trying to run it out and up on Gibbons, number 27, the captain of the team. It's very hard to get deep on a safety man that's playing deep. Gibbons has it momentarily, but it falls out. But Ballou paid for it, as Keith said. Tim Marshall, number 77, the freshman, really decked him while he was throwing the ball.
Jim Evans, a back judge, was flat of his back, having fallen down, but he had his eyes on the play. Second down and 10. It's Herschel Walker. Notre Dame looking for him. They get him at the 34. Marshall and Crable. There's the man that made that big interception.
Mike Fisher was a walk-on. Transferred to Georgia as a freshman. Earned the scholarship, made the team, and made one of the most critical interceptions of anybody's lifetime, possibly saving Georgia's national championship hopes.
Third down and 8. Up the middle goes Walker. Short of the first down. Brings up fourth down. Remember a fellow named Rex Robinson, number 5. He's coming out. He hit a 57-yarder against South Carolina to win the game. He hit a 57-yarder against Georgia Tech that figured in it.
Well, he's 17 for 23 for the season.
Today he made one from 46, and he missed one. This is a 48-yard field goal attempt, and it is huge. The importance of this kick is enormous. It is up high. It is long enough. It is no good. It is no good. Wide, apparently to the right. Did not hook enough for it. Notre Dame takes over, trailing by 7. From the distance, kicking from 48 yards after having made a 46-yarder in the game. He hit it plenty long, but from that right hash mark, he didn't get any hook on it, and it stayed wide to the right. And Notre Dame stops Georgia. And We've got 7:29 to play in the football game, with Georgia leading 17-10. And the football is sitting on the 31-yard line of Notre Dame.
And the Georgia defense has just swelled up and played their hearts out.
They truly have. They've been out there the whole half. The Georgia offense has just been nothing in the second half. The Irish have shut them down the sidelines. Hunter can't get to the ball. He's hollering about it. No interference. Southwest Conference official. Done a pretty good job, too, and it's been a temper-laden, tough football game.
You're going to see Hunter. He's trying, that little delay fake was to make Werner slow up, and Werner did slow up, and actually Hip came over to prevent the touchdown, number 49, and Hunter, of course, is complaining that Werner interfered with him. It was close, but it wasn't intentional.
Second down and 10 for the Irish from their own 31. Shotgun. Keel over the middle. Complete. Out to the 38 to Nick Veer. Big tight end. Veer is a 246-pounder.
Let's look at the last play on Hunter with Werner, the All-American halfback, number 19. The rule says if there's no intent to impede, it looks to me like that Werner knew he was beaten on the play and tried to block him from going deep momentarily, but he got away with it.
Ball is up near the 39. Third down and 2. Keel keeps it. Throws it to the sideline. Incomplete. Oh, that was close. Werner covering Hunter. That's been a terrific duel out here today between those two.
I don't think I've seen as many one-on-one situations. And, of course, on that particular play, Keel changed at the line of scrimmage. He had a running play call. Hunter was covered one-on-one. He changed to the rollout pass, but Werner just got all over it.
And it is fourth down, and the Irish will have to give it up. Time now, the definite ally of Georgia. They lead by 7. Blair Keel to kick. Werner is deep. Snap is good. Kick is away. Werner circles, calls fair catch, and fields it at the 22 of Georgia. So the Bulldogs now will try to rest their defense a little bit, try to get some kind of offense going. They have the ball. Tonight on ABC at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, and 9:30 Pacific, Invasion, a dramatized documentary of the Soviet invasion of Czechoslovakia in 1968. The question, of course, is whether or not history repeats itself. What's happening in that part of the world these days? That's tonight on ABC. Buck Bellew gives the ball to Herschel Walker, and Walker is caught behind the line of scrimmage and ridden down by Bob Crable.
We're noticing Crable, and I think the reason is that he's not waiting. You watch him on the replays, plugging the hole. He's finding that seam. That's what he's so good at. He sees an opening seam, he takes it, and goes in and makes a tackle on Walker for a 2-yard loss.
Second down. Georgia's offense inept in the second half. Walker again trying to get to the sidelines. Pinned in over there and caught at the 20. Notre Dame defense swarming. And it's a big, powerful defense.
And Georgia is in a tough situation. Do they rely on their defense as we look at the passing? Notre Dame 132 and Georgia 0, leading 17-10. But do we look and judge what will Georgia do on third down and 12 yards to go, leading for the national championship by 7 points? Will they throw or will they be conservative?
On the throw, Bellew puts it up deep. Pass is incomplete. Norris Brown, the tight end, going downfield. He didn't get close to that one. The other time he saw the ball, it went through his hand. Now Georgia will have to kick it. And once again, Notre Dame is going to get the football in good field position. Bellew now is 0 for 11.
And we must say once again, the Georgia defense is going to be tested with very good field position, possibly at midfield.
5:16 to play. 2 men back, 9-man front. Now the Irish peel back, no pressure, and the kick is out. And a fair catch by Krim, and Notre Dame owns the football. First down at their own 42. Now the question, can the Georgia defense continue to hang on? Here we go. Who knows what's going through the mind of Mr. Ballou at the moment.
And Mr. Vince Dooley, the coach, with so much at stake in this ball game.
All right, Georgia defense lines up. 6-man front against Notre Dame. First down Irish, they're 42. Keel turns and hands the ball off to Carter. And Carter gets around the corner, butts head, and gets it up to nearly midfield. Tommy Thurston made the tackle.
Tony Hunter was lined up at tight end on that particular play. We remember early in the season, Hunter lined up at tight end, and the opposing team didn't catch it. He got in behind the defense for a touchdown.
Carter now with 109 yards in the ball game on 27 carries. Second down, 3 for Notre Dame at midfield. Keel keeping. Looks downfield. Caught. Dropped. Back at the 45. Eddie Weaver.
Eddie Weaver, look at him make a tremendous play. The one thing that he's got to do is get away from the blocker, and that's hard to do when he grabs a little bit of your arm. But he has the quickness, and he just keeps coming, and finally slows Keel down enough to make the play. Now, inexperience cost Notre Dame on that play. Mastek was wide open on the bootleg pass, but Creel didn't have the patience to find him and hit him.
Moss is back near the 45, and it's third down and 8 out of the shotgun. Georgia coming, pass thrown short over the middle. Pass is caught by Nick Veer, brought down by Chris Welton, but it is short of the first down. It's going to be fourth down and short. You got to figure they go for it at 3.5 minutes to play in a ball game.
Very definitely, and that was excellent execution on Keel's part. Georgia had the blitz. He was lined up in the shotgun, Keith, where he could see the blitz. He just dropped it over the line and tied in Nick Veer.
That's the kind of pass play that we thought Georgia might bring to the ballpark against Notre Dame.
They could have used it earlier.
4th and 1 for the Irish. Keel still got it on 4th and 1. He gets his pass off. It is intercepted. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
That young man is a real winner. Scott Werner.
On 4th and 1, Keel takes a deep drop under pressure, throws it up for grabs, and Werner intercepts it with 2:56 to play in the game. From the 34, Georgia's ball. Ballou on a run. Run all the way. Out of bounds, stopping the clock. Goes out at about the 40. Let's go back to that 4th down play.
You're going to see a bootlegger fake. He's going to fake to Stone 42.
Yeah, but Frank, what about the logic of the call?
The logic is unbelievably unusual. The alternative is to run harder right over the middle on 4th and 1. But Werner should not have intercepted it because it was 4th down. He forgot the down and distance because of the unusual call.
That thing was as big as the moon up there for old Scott. Net free, he had to catch it. He's a human being. He just had to come down with it. On 2nd down, they give it inside to Herschel, and the Irish stop him short of the first down as he roots it out to about the 41. It's going to bring up 3rd down in about 2.5 or 3 as Kramer made the stop.
Someone took time. I guess it was Notre Dame.
You only have 2:42 to play in the ball game. Georgia leading 17-10.
Keith, I've never seen so many 3rd down in 2 situations.
You see that Notre Dame just shut Herschel down in the second half.
Give credit to both defenses. It's been a tremendous defensive struggle by both teams. Notre Dame has forced Georgia to kick after 1, 2, 3. Georgia has hung on, given up some yardage, but not any touchdown.
But Georgia's in a good defense on that 4th and 1 play. Coming. That's right. And lo and behold, they try to loop a pass downfield.
It's the most unusual call because the bootleg, I must say this, the bootleg pass does not give you good pass protection on the weak side. The defensive end, on most occasions, if he's coming, is untouched, and that's exactly what happened in that game. The off guard could not pull in time to make the block.
Georgia holding on to the ball. Right here is an awful big play for them. They need about 3 yards, a little less than 3. On 3rd down. They can get a first down here. It'll be an upset in the second half, for one thing. But secondly, it'll give them a chance to run off time. They've had 2 so far. Here's Ballou on a keep. He gets away. He's got the first down. Well, he can't throw the ball today, but suddenly Buck's trying to run it, and he does with success, and that is a big first down for Georgia.
Just a determined run by Ballou. Good blocking in the line. He wasn't going to throw the ball unless the receiver was wide open. Look at him. He's watching downfield, but he cuts back inside of Zabotnik and keeps the ball for the first down.
At the 46. Now you have 2:25 to play in the game. Walker is caught by Hankard, and they'll give his progress just about the line of scrimmage.
The muscle of Notre Dame showed up as Jimmy Womack, the fullback, tried to block Hankard out, and he couldn't move him. Hankard just came inside and made the play.
We've got a timeout on the field. Charge to Notre Dame with 2:16 to play in the game, and the Irish have 1 timeout remaining. Well, it's got to be quiet on the streets of New Orleans. It's got to be quiet in a lot of places. South Bend, Athens. It's been some kind of a football game.
Georgia's 2 minutes and 16 seconds away from their first national championship.
Minutes and 16 seconds as Georgia now on 2nd down and 10 give the ball to their great freshman running back Herschel Walker, and he runs out of bounds in the hands of Scott Zedek. Scott trying to stand up and hold on and keep from tumbling into the crowd. He did not, in a sense, make contact. All he did was grab Herschel, trying to get some support.
And you can watch for Notre Dame trying to tackle high, hoping that they can knock the ball loose and get good field position with a chance to score and possibly win the game.
Ballou puts it in the air, throws to Arnold. Arnold comes down with it, and it's a pass completion. His first pass of the ball game is completed, and it gets him a first down.
Amp Arnold is going to push deep, and the Notre Dame back Prim backs up, and he comes back to the ball. The big key, otherwise it could have been intercepted. He has to have 1 foot down after the completion. A very fine throw, an excellent catch, and a very critical time in the ball game.
Critical. It's like the very life's breath here for both teams, for that matter. 17-10. We've got a Notre Dame man down on the field, and we've not been able to pick up the number as yet. The clock is stopped at 2:05 to play. Let's talk about the numbers. Notre Dame, 4 turnovers. Big story, big part of the game. 191 yards rushing for the Irish, 138 passing for 329 total. Georgia, 96 yards rushing. Now the losses, as a team losses, including the sacks of Buck Ballou, take away the total on Herschel Walker as John Hankard is being helped off the field. Gosh, I hope that's not a knee for John. My goodness, what a nice young man he is, and he's played a terrific football game today.
Played his heart out, on every down. Just a high-level performance for this young man for 3 years that he started at that left end position.
But the losses by Ballou of 49 reduced the total net yardage on the ground for Georgia to 96. They've only gained 7 yards in passing, and it was on that last pass completion, and how big it was. It got him a first down. 4 more snaps of the ball. The clock running now at 1:55 to play in the game, and a penalty flag flutters into the air as the play goes inside the Walker. Let's see about the penalty.
While they're deciding, I should mention that under the rules in college football, the clock continues to run after the official stepped off the penalty. Here it is.
Here it is.
Offside.
Another mistake for the Irish. It'll cost them 5. The clock right now is stationary at 1:49 to play in the game. That's 8 flags and 69 yards against Notre Dame. The football is sitting at the Notre Dame 38. Georgia just may be able to sit on it. Frank?
Keith, it takes you can use 4 downs and it takes about 2 minutes.
Well, Notre Dame only has one timeout remaining. Here's Herschel Walker running all over the field. He just sticks his head down and burrows right into the 3 Notre Damers, but they tumble him out of bounds inside the 30. And that's going to be another first down as Rick Naylor and Dave Durison came across to get him. Walker now with 145 yards on 35 carries, and Georgia has 4 more snaps of the ball as Herschel Walker turned it upfield. 1:28 to play in the game.
Keith, have you ever seen a freshman have such good poise to know that he had nothing, apparently nothing on the side of the blocking? Turn back and make the first down.
Never. Well, I say never.
Well, we haven't seen one this fast and big before, I promise you. I never have.
No, nor have I. First down. Just inside the 30, and it's Walker again. Getting some blocking in front. Gets to the outside. Goes down at the 25. Got the better part of 5 yards on that carry, and he stays inbound. And you've got 1:15 to play in the ball game. Ronnie Stewart going out onto the field. Jimmy Womack does not want to come out. Jimmy's coming. It's his birthday.
And he's played a terrific game. And the fullbacks, as we've said many, many times, have to take great pride to be the blocker in the I formation.
Walker is coming out, and Carney Norris goes in at tailback. Walker comes out. 36 carries, 150 yards, 50 seconds to play in the game. Georgia students and Georgia partisans moving down to the sideline. 40 seconds to play in the ball game. Georgia has never finished a season ranked number 1. And now time is called.
Keith, I want to just congratulate, hoping that it turns out as it looks like it is, Vince Dooley, who's a credit to the coaching profession. Highly respected and admired by everybody in the game.
They mark off the 5-yard delay of game penalty against Georgia. Crowd is swarming down onto the edge of the field. Realize Georgia has been playing football since before the start of the century. Been a lot of Notre Damers figure in their football history. Guys like Mayer and Late,
Jim Crowley, all coached at Georgia.
All coached there. Pop Warner coached there. Produced Georgia's first undefeated team. Over the years, Wally Butts and the great seasons that he had. Georgia running out the clock. 35 seconds. Just 35 ticks away. And the Georgia Bulldogs figure to finish number 1 in the polls because they'll be the only team in the country that won all 12 of their games. I'm sure that Jackie Sherrill and his Pitt Panthers, Notre Dame spends its last time out with 33 seconds to play. I'm sure Jackie Sherrill and his Pitt Panthers feel they are as good as anybody in the country. But they lost a football game at Florida State, 36-22. Florida State, I'm sure, feels they are as good as anybody in the country. But they lost a football game to Miami by a single point. And they must play Oklahoma tonight in the Orange Bowl. Michigan with a tremendous finish toward the end of the season. But they lost 2 football games.
Keith, I think what you're saying is that there are a lot of fine football teams in this country, and many of them are practically equal and in any occasion could win the national championship.
Herschel Walker has been named the MVP of the Sugar Bowl. 150 yards on 36 carries and 2 touchdowns.
There was a picture of Dan Devine, and I want to say, and I've said it before, Dan Devine is a great football coach. He has always handled himself and his team with dignity, with grace, and with style. We'll miss him in the coaching profession, and I hope that he comes back after a year.
It is 3rd down and about 11 for Georgia after the penalty. Ballou rolls it out. He just wants to run around and kill the clock. He's going to run as long as he can, keeping in the field at play. Notre Dame with no more timeouts remaining. We're now inside 25 seconds, and Georgia can stand there and exult as the time ticks away.
And a team won the national championship without making mistakes, Keith. That's what you talked about. They didn't make mistakes, and Notre Dame did.
The crowd player. Considering all the factors involved, all the people involved in the game, the elements of the game, size, history, all of those things, you'd have to say this is something of an upset. But it happened in the first half as Georgia cashed in on 2 Notre Dame mistakes. One on the kickoff, one on the fumble to get the 2 touchdowns. The 46-yard field goal by Rex Robinson. In the second half, Notre Dame totally dominated the football game. But the Georgia defense, a bunch of kids with as much gizzard as I have ever seen, just hung on to the last fingernail and finally won it 17-10.
Keith, you expressed it beautifully. The Georgia defense, they live with that yardage inside, but they somehow come up with a big play. Enough to stop the opponents before they get to that goal line. What a thrill it is for these people from Georgia. Look at them out on the field, celebrating something that every person that coaches football or plays football or follows college football wants: a national championship. Keith, I'm thrilled for them.
But I will say this, too. How many times that school right there at the top of that picture, Notre Dame, has figured in championship games. They came here first to the Sugar Bowl. They beat Alabama. Sarah Farsigan gambled with Clements throwing out of the end zone and won 24-23. Today, a lot of people thought they would win here. They had really no chance at a national championship. But the thing I am sure that makes this a bigger thing for the folks who support the Georgia Bulldogs is the fact that they beat Notre Dame. I mean, that's a mark of pride right there.
Yes, with Notre Dame 4 times in the 70s, won in the game that meant the national championship or took the game or the national championship away from the opponents. To beat Notre Dame for the national championship will always be remembered by every Georgia fan. And they are soaking up the glory right now.
You betcha. We will stay for the presentation of the team award and the most valuable player award.
I believe that's a sea of red, the most I've ever seen out on the field.
Well, you've been involved in a few seas of red, haven't you?
Oh, I tell you what, it looks like that Moses walked out there and parted the waves so that Georgia could win. But Georgia has been a Cinderella team, and that's what it takes in the game of football today. You can't win 12 football games, as you said earlier in the telecast, without a lot of luck. Georgia had it, but when they had to have the guts to